Welcome to the deep dive. So you've probably heard all this talk, right? This buzz around BRICS money, maybe shaking things up globally. Today, we're going to really get into what that means. Cut through the noise.
Yeah, it's definitely a hot topic and timely with the BRICS group expanding. You know, it started with Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. But come January 2025, they're officially adding Indonesia, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the UAE. That's, it's huge.
Huge is right. We're talking over a quarter of the global economy and nearly half the world's population.
Exactly. And their goal seems pretty clear. They want to create a counterweight to Western influence, challenge the status quo a bit.
And challenging the financial system, that immediately brings the US dollar to mind. It's just dominant.
Oh, absolutely. Unparalleled dominance. Something like 90% of global currency trading. And maybe 80% of foreign exchange. It's the default.
So what's pushing BRICS then? Why this move for change now?
Well, a big driver is this feeling that the dollar can be, weaponized, used for political ends through sanctions. The freezing of Russia's reserves back in 2022, that was a real wake-up call for many, I think. It really fueled this desire for more financial independence, sovereignty.
Okay, so let's unpack BRICS money. A lot of people hear that and think, boom, one single currency, like a unit or something. How realistic is that, given how different these countries are?
Honestly. That's mostly a pipe dream, at least for the foreseeable future. Think about it. Getting 10 very different nations to agree on a single currency, to give up control over their own money.
Yeah, the hurdles seem enormous.
They are. You've got China, this $17 trillion economy, then Ethiopia, around $150 billion, massive difference. And interest rates.
Yeah.
All over the place. China's low, Russia's sky high, India somewhere in between.
Plus the politics, giving up monetary control.
Exactly. Countries like India are particularly sensitive about that. So, yeah, no surprise when the July 2025 summit came and went with no big currency announcement.
Right. So if the common currency isn't happening, what are they actually doing? What's the tangible stuff?
Now this is where it gets interesting and maybe less reported. They're focusing on practical things like BRICS Pay, sometimes called BRICS Bridge. It's a plan for their own payment messaging system. Think independent, decentralized.
To bypass SWIFT and things like that?
Precisely. Using digital assets for cross-border settlements outside the U.S.-dominated networks. And get this, something like 90% of the trade within the BRICS bloc is apparently already settled in their local currencies.
90%? Wow, that's up from...
around 65% just 2 years ago. That's a huge jump.
That is a big shift. So local currencies are key.
Definitely. And don't forget, the new development bank, their alternative to the World Bank, it's already funding projects. Over $32 billion approved since 2016.
Okay, so local currency trade skyrocketing, new payment systems, their own development bank. What does this actually mean for the dollar? Is its reign over?
Not overnight, no. It's more like an incremental erosion, especially in trade settlement. The dollar still has that exorbitant privilege, lower borrowing costs for the U.S., easier imports. That's not vanishing quickly.
It feels like a bit of a paradox, though, doesn't it? U.S. actions like sanctions, or even just talk about tariffs.
Yeah.
Like former President Trump saying losing the dollar standard would be like losing a war.
Right.
That kind of talk almost seems to push BRICS harder towards finding alternatives.
It absolutely reinforces their motivation. It's like the very power they're reacting against is, in a way, fueling the search for alternatives. And look at India, there's a great example of the nuance here. They said no to the common currency idea.
Right, rejected it.
But they strongly support diversifying away from the dollar, using BRICS to push for reforms, all while keeping their own strategic freedom. It's not just one single anti-dollar bloc.
So pulling this all together, the big takeaway isn't really about some mythical single BRICS currency replacing the dollar.
Not really, no.
It's more about these practical alternative payment systems popping up and this really significant fast rise in countries just using their own money to trade with each other.
Exactly. It's leading towards a more fragmented system, a multi-currency world, maybe.
Less dollar-centric, certainly.
Which brings us to the final thought, really, for you listening. What does this changing landscape, this more multipolar financial world, actually mean? Think about it for your own finances or for global trade or even just, stability as everyone navigates these different networks. Something to chew on as things keep evolving.